Holy shit. Alright, so here's what I'm working on right now. I am creating my frame insert pieces, or attempting to. I have a couple pieces, a 2x4 box tube. It's a little bit heavier wall than you may need, but more is better, right? Stronger, better. So I'm slicing the tube on this line, on both sides, obviously. And then I will, once that's done, of course prep the edges, and then they can kind of slip together or sit together. Basically something similar to that. Whoop. Something similar to this. So we can basically make the ID of the frame rail. This is a piece of the frame rail that I have. Well, it's the 2.5x4 box tube that is dimensionally equal to the factory frame rail, but it is not an actual piece of frame rail. So this is the material that I'll be making the extensions out of themselves. But luckily, I have a small piece that I could use kind of as a test bed. I don't have to keep lugging around this big piece that's going to eventually be the extensions themselves. So I'm going to set you down, turn you around, and I'll show you kind of how this is working so far. So what I've been able to do is, utilizing my material equal to the frame rail, I'm able to set one piece in. You may not be able to tell if it's the radius here, and this inner radius is also pretty equal. A little massaging with the grinder. And then this piece will sit inside like that. And of course I'll weld along the seams. And then this whole piece as one slips inside the frame rail. And I'll have holes in the frame rail itself, so I can plug weld this piece in, and should work out okay. You can see it fits in there, the radius fits in there quite well. Took a little bit of handwork, but not really too bad. It's not like I had to reinvent the wheel or anything, but so it sits kind of like that, and I'll weld it all together. After I give it an acid bath, treat it for the rust, obviously. This is some material that I had around, so I bought it off a guy with a big pile of scrap metal. I've been utilizing bits and pieces as I go, kind of through my fun garage projects. But I have some acid that will clean the rust off of the metal once I get everything fit, and then I can weld on it, and I'll do some weld through primer on the inside and the outside, and weld it all up and get it all together, and then be able to slip it straight into the frame. The way that I've got that set up, I have approximately 6 inches of clear frame rail on the car that I can go in, and then on the back from where I cut it, I can go in about 2 inches before the frame starts to kick up. Then I will obviously put holes here for plug welds. Same on the front section of the frame, and then the 15-inch piece, the stretch piece, will sit over the top of all of this. I'll leave about 6 inches back so I can insert that into the front of the frame, which should give me the 2 inches off the back. That'll fit into the back half of the frame, and it should all line up and keep everything square, or at least line up, insert in, and then I can square the frame off of that as I tack weld. I will go through and bevel. I will do a heavy bevel on the frame, the extension pieces themselves. So this will be a nice big 45 both on there as well as here. I've already done one, just kind of messing with it a little bit, but I'll put a nice big bevel on all the way around all 4 ends of the original frame, so that I can put a nice root pass in there and then fillet weld on the outside, grind it all smooth so it'll be pretty. This material inside of the factory material will make this section of the frame stronger than any other part of the frame. I have no doubts about that. I'm going to get to cutting this other piece. This is the second half, or the second extension piece. So I'm going to cut that and get to doing some handwork. Well, the inserts are done. I got them all sanded down, all the rust is taken off of them. Set some weld through primer on there, so we're going to let that dry. I think I've reached a good stopping point for today. And we'll see what this evening brings, or maybe tomorrow. Either way, I think I was able to accomplish quite a bit. And basically hand shaving them and hand cutting them so that they fit in like puzzle pieces. So very, very good fit. Very excited with that. Probably show those to you again as I'm putting them in the frame extension pieces. So I think the next step is going to be to cut those pieces down and get those prepped, and then we'll put some, like I said, put some plug holes in there so I can plug weld those into these braces into the frame extensions. Hopefully we'll be able to set them all together and get that all squared away. So stay tuned for the next episode.
Okay, let's go.
Why don't you tell me what you're doing with that bread there, guy?
So, it's kind of a poor man's way of removing the pilot bearing on the back of a manual transmission. You pack it in there and it basically displaces the bearing. So the bitch is coming out.
Yes, it is.
It just popped the inner race out.
Do you think you'd have the same result with sourdough? Better or worse? It came out.
The inner race came out.
Now what?
More bread.
Wow. That freaking...
Brought to you by Wonder Bread.
Very cool. Another piece in there still?
The actual bearing, yeah.
Are you sure?
I think so.
I don't think so. I think you got it all.
So bitch.
Tell me what you think you need. Oh, no way. Are you kidding me? put it in gear and try and turn it.
Hold the acid real fast.
Oh shit! I'm in a bad angle for this.
There you go.
There it is. Holy shit!
There you go. Merry Christmas.
Alright, I finally completed the clutch install. The old clutch wasn't bad, but since I was here, I may as well have done it. I got to pressure wash the transmission and the transfer case. I reinstalled the tummy tucker, which was a bit of a bear to do by myself. But luckily for me, I had some good friends show up, give me a hand with dropping the trans and the T-case. Well, I had the T-case off, but putting everything back together. So that was very helpful. Thank you very much for the Brandons. I appreciate that. So here we are. Now we're ready to put the car back together, I think, or at least start that process. I think I'm going to start cutting my frame extension pieces, and I will move forward with getting the inserts in and making holes for plug welds and start getting this frame out to adding 15 inches to it. So I'm excited for that. I'm glad that we're here. Feels like it's been a little bit of a long road. It's really only been a couple of weeks, but progress is being made. I'm pretty excited. So let's get to it and see what we can muster for the evening.